Why does a city famed for its stars and wealth also bear one of America's most severe human crises? Los Angeles, a symbol of dreams, grapples with a sobering truth. More than 72,000 individuals are without homes in its county, a slight 4% decrease from 2024, but still a staggering number. This video takes you deep into the heart of homelessness in America, exploring 3 distinct neighborhoods, each representing a unique blend of hardship, hope, and hard-earned progress. Using the 2025 point-in-time count, we shed light on the lives entangled in this crisis, the bold measures underway, and the obstacles that remain. What stories do these communities hold, and can they guide us toward a solution?
Me being homeless, I need help, and it's hard out here. I really want to go to a program, go to rehab, and get my life together. I really want to get off the drugs. I'm tired of because me on drugs. I'm not focused. I can't, take care of I can't I'm not in my right mind. I just want to get off drugs.
Skid Row, the heart of the crisis. Nestled beneath the gleaming skyline of downtown Los Angeles lies Skid Row, a name forever tied to the homeless in America. This roughly 50-block stretch home to an estimated 4,000 to 6,000 unhoused individuals holds the densest concentration of homelessness in the city. Walking through its streets, the atmosphere carries the weight of survival tents. Line the sidewalks, makeshift shelters, clutter alleyways, and the faces of the residents reflect stories of loss, addiction, and systemic neglect.
Basically drugs run most of Los Angeles itself, but especially Skid Row. Skid Row hurt me in ways I can't ever explain. It made me do things, it made me see things that I wish I never would have seen. It's amazing what people can do to other people.
According to the 2025 PIT count from the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, LASA, about 70% of Skid Row's residents are unsheltered, meaning they sleep in tents on concrete or in doorways vulnerable to the elements and the unpredictable nature of the city. Of this population, 22% face severe mental illness, while 21% battle substance abuse, statistics that paint a stark portrait of a community desperately in need of more than temporary solutions. The struggles of Skid Row are not new, but they are persistent. This neighborhood has long been a haven for those marginalized by society where poverty and hopelessness collide. Many of the individuals here have fallen through the cracks of a system overwhelmed by economic disparity and a housing market that seems out of reach. With the median rent in Los Angeles surpassing $800 per month, wages for low-income workers have remained stagnant, leaving little room for error. For someone earning minimum wage, a single medical emergency or job loss can quickly lead to eviction and eventually a tent on Skid Row. In addition to this, the area's high rates of mental health and addiction issues require comprehensive long-term services that have been slow to materialize. So why in a city so affluent do so many continue to be trapped in this cycle? Still, amidst the hopelessness, there are rays of hope. The city's Inside Safe initiative, launched by Mayor Karen Bass, has made significant progress. Since its launch, it has cleared over 100 encampments throughout Los Angeles, with Skid Row being a central focus. Teams arrive with offers of motel rooms, meals, and medical attention, striving to move people off the streets and into temporary housing. In 2025, these efforts contributed to a 9.5% reduction in unsheltered individuals countywide, with Skid Row seeing a modest though notable decrease in tents. Nonprofits like the Midnight Mission and Union Rescue Mission play a crucial role serving thousands of meals daily while providing counseling, job training, and addiction support. Volunteers, often local residents or church groups, distribute blankets and hygiene kits, serving as a reminder that compassion endures even in the most challenging environments. However, the path to permanent change is littered with challenges. Temporary housing, while a step forward often ends in stagnation. Many of Skid Row's residents, once placed in motels, end up back on the streets when programs run out of funding or permanent housing options are unavailable. The 2025 pit count highlights that while 27,994 people were placed in permanent housing across the county, in 2024, demand far exceeds supply. Los Angeles County is currently facing a shortage of 485,000 affordable housing units, a gap that looms large over Skid Row. Moreover, the fear of displacement weighs heavily on many residents. Outreach workers report that some reject shelter offers fearing being relocated far from the community they've come to know or being skeptical of broken promises. For those struggling with mental illness or addiction, the limited availability of long-term treatment beds, fewer than 2,000 for a county of 10 million further, hinders the chances of recovery. Thus, Skid Row remains a paradox, a place where assistance arrives but seldom stays long enough to transform lives. Venice, where beauty meets struggle. A few miles to the west, where the Pacific Ocean meets the lively shores of Venice Beach, an important chapter of the homeless in America unfolds. This renowned neighborhood, celebrated for its vibrant boardwalk and artistic energy, is a striking blend of contrasts with surf shops and trendy cafes, just steps away from tents and RVs. The 2025 RAND report highlights a 15% decrease in unsheltered individuals here, a sign of focused efforts, yet encampments still remain along Oceanfront Walk, their presence a stark reminder of Venice's dual reality. The 2025 point-in-time pit count estimates several hundred unhoused people in Venice, many living in vehicles or makeshift shelters, drawn by the region's mild climate and relative safety. How does a place so admired for its freedom reconcile with such visible suffering? Venice's homeless population is diverse, with a significant number of transitional youth, those aged 18 to 24, forming a small yet vulnerable group. The 2025 data shows a 1.7% decrease in this age group, reflecting outreach efforts, though their vulnerability remains pronounced. Many of these youth are former foster children or runaways, struggling without the support they need to transition into adulthood. RVs, once symbols of freedom, now serve as crucial shelters for families and older adults priced out of the housing market, with median rents in Los Angeles surpassing $800 a month. The 2024 passage of Assembly Bill 2525 allows for quicker RV removals, simplifying cleanups but igniting debate. For many, an RV is not merely a vehicle but a refuge, the only barrier between them and life on the streets. What happens when we take away someone's last place of refuge without offering an alternative? The efforts to address Venice's crisis are multifaceted. Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe initiative has expanded, providing motel placements and case management, for those willing to leave tents or vehicles. The county's Pathway Home Initiative has achieved success placing 27,994 people into permanent housing in 2024, a result reflected in Venice's reduced encampments. Collaborations with organizations like St. Joseph's Center have provided job training and mental health services, addressing the unique needs of Venice's population. The 2025 pit count shows a 13.5% citywide drop in tents and vehicles, a trend also visible in Venice. Local volunteers and businesses are making an impact by donating food and funds, while the Venice Neighborhood Council, despite internal disagreements, advocates for more shelter beds and affordable housing. Can these efforts balance Venice's artistic spirit with the needs of its homeless? Nevertheless, challenges remain. Residents, though empathetic, raise concerns about safety and sanitation near the boardwalk, where encampments contribute to trash and crime, putting a strain on community relations. The January 2025 wildfires in Pacific Palisades disrupted outreach, diverting resources to emergency responses and leaving some programs understaffed. The removal of RVs under AB 2525, while helpful for cleanup risks, alienating those who depend on them, prompting debates about the balance between compassion and order. The larger housing crisis looms, with Measure HHH's $1.2 billion allocation for affordable housing spurring projects, but construction still lags behind the county's 485,000 unit shortage. Venice stands at a pivotal moment, trying to maintain its identity as a cultural hotspot, while facing a crisis that threatens its charm. How can we ensure that progress uplifts everyone, not just the visible environment? Hollywood progress in the spotlight. At the core of Los Angeles, Hollywood tells a poignant story in the narrative of the homeless in America, where the fame of the Walk of Fame contrasts sharply with the reality of encampments. Once a symbol of dreams and fame, this neighborhood now bears the weight of shattered aspirations. The 2025 RAND report reveals a 15% reduction in unsheltered individuals, reflecting progress seen across the city, but Hollywood still houses a considerable portion of the 43,699 unhoused individuals in Los Angeles. Among them, 40% are rough sleepers, those without tents or vehicles, sleeping directly on the streets. These individuals are often the hardest to assist, reluctant to accept outreach due to distrust or untreated mental health issues. Why does a place that represents success so frequently neglect its most vulnerable? Hollywood's demographic breakdown highlights stark inequalities. The 2025 point-in-time pit count shows that Black individuals who make up only 8% of Los Angeles County's population represent 33% of its homeless population, a glaring disparity evident throughout Hollywood. Many face overwhelming challenges, with 22% dealing with severe mental illness, yet the county has fewer than 2,000 psychiatric beds for a population of 10 million. This shortage keeps individuals stuck in a cycle of living on the streets and frequenting emergency rooms. The January 2025 wildfires in Altadena further exacerbated the situation, diverting outreach resources and displacing unhoused people, often without sufficient support. These disruptions reveal a system that is stretched thin, struggling to address complex needs. Despite these challenges, there are signs of progress. The Inside Safe program, led by Mayor Karen Bass, has made strides clearing encampments along Hollywood Boulevard and moving hundreds of people into temporary housing. The USC Street Medicine Initiative stands out by providing healthcare directly to the streets, offering checkups, medication, and referrals for those who might otherwise go untreated. Measure HHH, a $1.2 billion bond, has spurred affordable housing developments in Hollywood, though construction delays mean that the buildings won't be ready for years. Nonprofits like the Center for Hollywood offer meals and job training, while local groups organize cleanups to revitalize the area. These efforts have contributed to a 17.5% reduction in unsheltered individuals citywide over 2 years, with Hollywood benefiting from these improvements. Still, the road ahead remains full of hurdles. Rough sleepers continue to evade assistance, often turning away help due to mental health challenges or fear of institutionalization. The county's 485 Southern Unit affordable housing shortage looms large, with new developments unable to meet the growing demand. Local businesses relying on tourism are seeing fewer visitors due to visible encampments, creating tension between economic priorities and humanitarian needs. The city's new homelessness department, which was launched in July 2025, aims to better coordinate services, but its full impact is yet to be seen. Hollywood stands at a pivotal moment, balancing measurable progress with the ongoing burden of unmet needs. Can it reclaim its legacy as a beacon of hope for all? Connecting the pieces, a citywide strategy. The diverse struggles of Los Angeles neighborhoods come together in a shared fight against homelessness in America, a crisis that challenges the city's resilience. The 2025 point-in-time PIT count by the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, LASA, reports 308 unhoused individuals in Los Angeles County, including 43,699 in the city, marking a 4% decrease from 2024. While this progress is promising, it highlights a deeper challenge. Only a unified citywide approach can turn these gains into lasting change. What actions must Los Angeles take to ensure no one is left behind in its battle against homelessness? At the heart of the city's efforts is a network of programs targeting different aspects of the crisis. Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe initiative has cleared over 100 encampments, moving thousands into temporary shelters like motels, leading to a 9.5% drop in unsheltered individuals and a 13.5% reduction in tents and vehicles. However, these temporary solutions often fall short, as many individuals return to the streets without permanent housing options. The Pathway Home program is noteworthy, securing permanent housing for 27,994 people in 2024, but it is struggling against a shortage of 485,000 affordable housing units. Measure HHH, a $1.2 billion bond funds new housing developments, but delays in rising construction costs are slowing progress, leaving many projects unfinished. Mental health and substance abuse, affecting 22% and 21% of the homeless population respectively, urgently need attention. USC Street Medicine provides critical care on the streets, but with fewer than 2,000 psychiatric beds, county-wide long-term treatment remains out of reach. Substance abuse services have decreased prevalence by 16%, but scaling these programs remains difficult. Nonprofits like the Midnight Mission and St. Joseph Center play a vital role in offering support, but their reliance on inconsistent funding limits their reach. The new homelessness department, launched in July 2025 under Sarah Maheen, aims to unite these efforts, promising increased accountability after years of concerns over mismanagement. While early signs are promising, tangible results are still to come. External factors complicate the situation. The January 2025 wildfires in Altadena and Pacific Palisades drained resources, disrupting outreach, and displacing some unhoused individuals. State policies, including Governor Gavin Newsom's 2024 order to clear encampments and Assembly Bill 2525 for faster RV removals, have accelerated cleanups but raised concerns. Removing tents or RVs without alternatives may push people further into the margins. Nationally, homelessness in America presents a grim picture, with an 18% increase in homelessness reported in 2024, driven by the housing crisis. Potential federal funding cuts threaten to undo the local progress that has been made. A cohesive strategy that connects neighborhoods and agencies is vital. Each neighborhood offers unique lessons. The focus on mental health in one area could shape another's approach to rough sleepers. Success with youth homelessness in one community could inform family-focused initiatives elsewhere, where family homelessness increased by 5.9%. Street medicine models could be expanded to areas with high concentrations of RVs. Community engagement with volunteers distributing food and local councils advocating for shelters strengthens this collective effort. How can Los Angeles integrate these lessons into a strategy that ensures every neighborhood flourishes? A personal reflection, the weight of inaction. As I reflect on the homelessness crisis in Los Angeles, the human toll of our collective hesitation weighs heavily on me. Walking through one neighborhood, I saw a man weathered by years on the streets offer his small meal to a stranger, a brief moment of kindness amidst overwhelming despair. And another tent set against the sparkling ocean seemed like a cruel contradiction to the city's promise. In a third, a woman's quiet refusal of help, driven by the fear of losing her independence, stayed with me, highlighting how trust is as scarce as shelter. These snapshots beyond the 72,308 unhoused individuals in Los Angeles County expose a system failing those who need it most. Los Angeles has the wealth and creativity to lead the nation in solving the homeless in America crisis, yet bureaucratic delays and misdirected priorities block meaningful progress. The $2.5 billion invested over 8 years shows commitment, but the $21.7 billion needed over the next decade, with 2/3 unfunded, casts a long shadow. As a resident, I feel both hope and frustration. Programs like Inside Safe and Measure A offer hope, but they require swift action, faster housing construction, more mental health services, and policies that prioritize people. The glaring racial disparity, with 33% of the unhoused being Black, though they make up only 8% of the county's population, demands targeted solutions. We cannot accept a city where dignity is reserved for the few. This is a call to action for all citizens, leaders, and communities to demand and create a Los Angeles where everyone has a home. Conclusion. A city at a crossroads. Los Angeles finds itself at a pivotal moment in its fight against homelessness in America. The 4% decrease in homelessness in 2025, driven by programs like Inside Safe Pathway Home and Measure A, marks a sign of progress. However, with 72,308 individuals still without homes, the road ahead remains long. Skid Row, Venice, and Hollywood show us that solutions must be as varied as the neighborhoods they serve. By bringing together efforts in housing, healthcare, and community involvement, Los Angeles can create a future where everyone has a place to call home. The real question is not if we can end homelessness, but whether we will take the decisive action it requires.